Welcome back. We have the full crew, the full complement. Wade is back after
Long
hiatus.
hiatus.
Yeah, to deal with some business. Um,
Big
Richard is
up.
here as usual.
Give thanks, give
So
thanks.
thank you, gentlemen, for joining me. Guys, you can check out Richard channels, Richard Stevens. You know what I mean? He touches all kind of topics apart from sports and everything. You know what I mean? So and all politics and poetry and religion and even medical advice. Just kidding. All right. So, so we're gonna discuss some football. Jamaica goes into the national stadium on Thursday. They welcome El Salvador. A match that I'm just going to say straight up. Paul Hall, you should be winning this match. I don't want to hear no excuses, but this isn't about winning. All right. So let me just give you guys a squad. It has a heavy presence of local players or players that have a local origin. Andre Blake in goal, Dylan Barnes and Amal Knight are the backups. All right. Damian Lowe, Richard King, Adrian Mariappa, Javane Brown, Greg Lee, Jamoy Topi, and Ricardo Thomas make up the defenders. We have Demar Rose, Ravel Morrison, Christopher Pearson, Devon Williams, Ramon Howell. That is the midfielders, or more of the defensive midfielders, deeper line midfielders. Then you have a next set of midfielders that are more attacking. You have Alex Marshall, Nicholas Nelson, Tarek Zimenez, Lamar Walker, and Dwayne Busy Atkinson. In attack, you have Leon Bailey returning from injury and a long absence from the team. You have Andre Gray, Daniel Green, and Atafaroy Bygrave. So we're hearing a lot of new names and also quite a few players missing. How you feel about this team and who stands out to you being which omission jumps out at you or omissions jump out at you most from hearing the list?
You're
Let's
reading
start
my
with
mind, Mr.
Richard, since
Primo.
you're ready to go. Since you're ready
And
to
it,
go, Richard.
well,
Go ahead.
listen, Mr. Primo, there are a series of omissions,
Yeah.
glaring omissions, which cause me extreme nervousness and concern. I make no
Boy.
hesitation about it. You
Yeah.
opened with a salvo saying you expect nothing less than 3 points. My question to you, based on that squad,
Mm.
is how can you assure the public listening and
That is
watching
not
this
my job.
show?
That is not my job.
You
That
see me
is
back up
Paul
already,
Hall
mate.
job. You never hear the first part of the statement. Paul Hall, I expect nothing but 3 points and no excuses about this isn't about winning, it's team building. You build a team around winning, brother. You have to build your team culture. And everybody knows I have much respect for Paul Hall and how him go about things. But at this point, world rankings, all of them things they have to be beared in mind. If you are gonna drop down in the rankings, you are gonna stifle the players' them development. Point blank.
Going through the team, you already pointed out that there's a lot of local talent. In that midfield, it
Yeah.
seems a little light. I didn't hear Kevin Stewart's name
Yeah.
mentioned. I think in attack, we're going to be a little light without Mikel
Yes.
Antonio and Kemar Roof. We've got Busy
No
Atkinson in
Shamar
there,
Nicholson.
Pearson, no
That is what
Shaman.
that
Go
is
ahead,
what
go ahead, wait.
concerns. That I'm sorry to just burst out like that, but Shamar Nicholson has been in the headlines just recently for breaking a record, like the first what was it, overseas based player to score a hat trick
Yeah.
in
On
Russia.
scoring.
What was it? That was it? Was that was the record or
And
something
I'm
like
not
that?
sure. I never read that one.
Yeah,
He's in
man.
the
I think he
goals. We know
But he
he's in
has
the
been
goals.
scoring for fun though. I know that
right,
much.
right. I think he
I
became
wouldn't be surprised if he broke some kind of record because he's just been hat tricks, doubles.
Right. I think he's actually the
Yeah.
first overseas-based player
Mm,
to score a hat trick in the Russian league, or some
mm.
crazy statistic like that. Now, after a run like that, I would expect a call up would be mandatory, especially the fact that he is homegrown.
Yeah.
But
Let's,
then again, we don't know what kind of with
yeah,
where he is.
circumstances. Well,
Right. We really don't know
I
what's
don't know
going
if
on
I'm still
there.
in the settling in mode or also with the politics involved. I don't know if
Right.
traveling or we don't know if traveling is
And it's you.
yeah. You know
But
what I
uh,
mean?
to, but to me, that's even more reason why we need to get him home. But
I don't think he wants to leave now, to be honest with you.
when you brought
Mm,
up that point about who did I think was being omitted, his name was the first that popped up.
mm,
Shamar, why he's in form, and when we don't
yeah,
have, if we're not gonna get Mikel Antonio, the hottest striker we have available, then
yeah,
it must be Shamar. It has to be. But like we just outlined, maybe there's underlying politics that we can't really read into that is preventing that.
yeah.
Um, Also, the young Tyreek. I didn't say McGee. Is McGee in the team?
No, Maggie hasn't been in the team for a while, you know. I
That is
don't think
another
I've seen Maggie in the team from Gold Cup.
that is another omission that I'm not understanding. We're
Yeah, and
bringing
we
in.
need to, and I'm not sure if Maggie is even playing, if he's still in that situation where he's in that under 23 setup. I know he was on the fringes of the first team the other day. I was coming off the bench, but I haven't heard anything in
Well,
terms of progress, and that's
that
not a good thing. If you don't hear anything when it comes to football, it's usually not a good thing. A lot of young local talent. We see Alex Marshall returning, who's been playing in Canada. So let's see how he looks. We haven't seen him in a while. All right, so I'm gonna just run through a quick preview. So Sports Mall, good old reliable Sports Mall. They do previews of almost everything. If you want to find out how your opposition stay and what kind of things are going behind the scene, check out Sports Mode. You know what I mean? So it says El Salvador heads into the fixture against Jamaica on Thursday, knowing that it is a must win to keep their slim hopes of qualifying for the World Cup alive. If Paul Hall do him job, that should die right there, right?
yeah,
Well, Prima,
Mm.
you're hanging on to. I don't know if you're placing too much expectation
It's not
on.
expectations, you know. But
Oh,
put
what you
it this
call
way.
it?
I am the kind of person where I like for be realistic. Like if you can't do this, I go start look for you and start say, all right, Paul Hall, I have doubts in you.
Uh-oh.
You know what I mean?
isn't that a bit too soon to be having doubts? The man don't get. Yeah. His tenure is fresh in, and his tenure is in the middle of a tumultuous season for the Reggae
Yeah.
Ah,
Boys.
But how do you settle something like that with more losses?
Um, you know, looking on the jersey you have on now, there was also a
hey,
manager who also was, not given a certain amount of time, but
go ahead.
the powers that be gave him the time, and he's now performing. I think time is crucial for the manager's ideas to come across. We
Yeah.
need time. I think we're living in an age where football manager and FIFA think makes us think that we can make changes instantly, right? And it's not like that. You need a core belief in the team to be there before you can add elements that
All
have an
right.
immediate impact.
Let me hear let me say what man say now. You see one thing, um, if the coach that was there before went into this match and told me, yo, it's not about result or rare and rara, would I have him scalp? Because this is a team where we should be going in with the mentality, yo, we are not to say that we expect to win, you know what I mean? But we should be going into this match as a team confident. Now, when I see the article in the Gleaner saying um, winning is not as important more right now, It's not all about winning, but winning is important. Don't ever say winning is not important. You understand? And there are several factors why winning is important. Um, our record right now, we don't have that room to continue losing like that. It will be detrimental to the program. And I'm not going into this thing overconfident or anything like that. But certain matches you have to look at them and say, mark this off one and say, we're going into this one to try to win this match. We're going to go for Canada and them place. So it's going to be tough. You understand? But the matches that we need to win, we have to go in there with a mind frame that we need to win them, not for the sake of the World Cup, but for the sake of the program and the rankings. You understand? So it's not a matter of me being like, what you say, Richard, overconfident or thinking that is how easy one to. My mindset right now is it's do or die. You know what I mean? And the consequences for not getting it done is dire. Because we're already, the further we drop away from that top 50, it means that any player that we have where is not, say, English born or already settled or in that system already can't move to England or can't, you understand? They're not in that top 50, so them can't apply them trading on them kind them thing in them place there. So they're going to end up going to some obscure places. So
We're
if it's
listening.
about development, you have to talk about the big picture development. But go ahead, Richard.
Well, it's an a very interesting topic that we're looking at here, and as pertains to the Jamaican team, I've got to say I agree with you. Winning is important. It does help morale. It does affect the rankings, and I think that's very important. That's probably one of the most important points that I would agree with you
Yeah.
with strongly. The issue or the challenge I think right about now that Jamaica are facing, as far as I'm concerned, is the direction that Jamaica are looking to head in terms of the rebuilding process. Right now,
Yeah.
we've lost the opportunity to qualify for Qatar 2022.
Yeah.
El Salvador, as you pointed to, have faint, slim, very faint hopes of still progressing. They are not coming to the office to lay down and give up.
Exactly.
They've got a
Exactly.
1-1 from the first game. They know that Jamaica are a good team and a competitive team, but they will believe that they can get a result and they will be looking for a result. A point won't really do them any good at all. So this is a very live game. What's really of concern to me, and I say concern, maybe Wade and yourself might disagree. It looks like potentially the JFF or Paul Hall, or combination of the two, are going to be laying their trust in a lot of local talent merged with overseas talent. And my concern is we are not going to be calling on the creme de la creme, the very best of Jamaican heritage talent. And I don't want to put undue pressure and expectation on players who are residing and plying their trade in the JPL and expect them to be competitive to take on El Salvador, then Honduras, and then a Canada. I don't know if they've got the requisite quality. I'll be frank. We don't have the firepower necessarily. We don't have the midfield quality. Defensive wise, I think that's our strongest area. But as a whole, I think that we're going to be up against it in this last 3 games in the window. And
All
where
right.
do we go forward as a Jamaican
Let me
national
ask you
team?
this now.
That's the question
No, let me
for
ask
me.
you this now.
Yes, sir.
And then I'm going to rotate this question. So since you said that, wait, I'll let you answer first, and I'll go to Richard. So you feel by looking at this squad, you feel like them throwing the towel then?
No, I think they're trying to build a strong core. I think what
Mm,
Paul Hall is looking to get is a strong domestic based team that can put up a fight to the smaller minnows of the zone, like an El Salv, right?
mm,
Where I think he's saying, Paul Hall is saying that no, our local based teams should run over these teams, and then
mm,
when we meet the the creme de la creme now. We add our own creme de la creme.
Mm,
So we're calling in a Mikel Antonio. We're calling in a Leon Bailey to face America, Canada, those teams. And they can now come into the team confident knowing that, yeah, man, the Reggae Boys has a strong core of local based players behind me. So all I need to do is fit in and do my thing. You know, stealing a quote from a different football, Vince Lombardi said, preparation breeds confidence,
mm,
confidence breeds success. And I think that is what Paul Hall is looking at. Right now, you're saying the team should have confidence based on past experience. There is no confidence because there's
mm,
been no success. So I think he's trying to prepare this local team to be a strong backbone of the overall setup so that
mm.
when we add these international players, we can go forward. And I think that
All
is
right.
why his statement
Let,
is.
let me say something to you.
Let me just finish off with his statement. So the
Mm,
statement is saying, right now, it's not about winning. I think
mm,
that was a little bit of verbal diarrhea of his mindset where he knows
mm.
right now, it's not about winning, it's about me finding the right local setup that can compete.
All right. Let me explain what I said to you about confidence. I don't expect them to get confidence out of nowhere, but you don't get confidence from constantly losing. I'm
Definitely.
saying the only way you're going to build confidence is try to turn around your performances. You understand? That's what my it to give you context of what I meant by it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, you don't become confident by losing. Winning and losing them thing they become habits. You know what I mean?
And that's the habit we're in right now.
Yeah. So yeah, we have to break that habit.
And maybe that's why Mr. Hall is breaking the team.
Yeah.
You know?
Um, I don't know if it's a matter of he feels like a lot of these so-called big names are complacent. Because if we're gonna talk about players that are missing, I think I'm going to leave you for our next video because we're almost 20 minutes into this one. Anyway, so we don't have no like we said in the attack, there was no roof, no
Antonio.
Nicholson,
yeah,
And
no
Nicholson.
Antonio, no Nicholson.
no Bailey.
Bailey is there.
Bailey is there.
Um,
Bailey
yeah,
is there. Interesting enough,
yeah.
Bailey's there, but how much of an influence he'll
There's
play
no
in
Bobby
this
Reed.
team?
Yeah, there's no Bobby Reed.
Is
There's no
DJ
Daniel
Johnson there?
Johnson. No,
No, no,
huh?
no,
No
no,
Daniel
no
Johnson.
DJ. I'm
Yeah.
I'm 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 really concerned, Mr. Primo. And I tell you what, you've just made mention of something. Let me get to another heart of the matter
Hold on. Let me
question.
finish. Let me finish the people who are missing first.
All right, sir.
Then
There's
we'll
a
let you
list,
do it.
isn't it?
Yeah, may I look at the list? I'm like I know there's no Ethan Pinnock. That's one of the first thing we noticed. No Ethan
Pinnock is
Pinnock.
not there.
No. Damien Lowe, Richard King, Mariappa, Javane Brown, Greg Lee, Jamai Tope, Ricardo Thomas. No Taxi, no Kamara Lawrence, no Alvas Powell.
No Liam Moore.
Um,
No more.
No.
why no Liam Moore?
No Liam Moore. Do you see? There's a
I thought I read
list.
Liam Moore. Huh?
There's a list. There's a long list of omissions. Wade and Mr. Premier viewers and subscribers. I'm
Mm,
really interested. Don't you see? There's two ways this could go. At least two ways, and I don't know. I'm open to persuasion. There's a
mm,
school of thought whereby if you've got a kind of a level quote unquote playing field where the squad of players are familiar with each other, i.e., the local players. And as you said, if they're trying to get a tight, cohesive team together,
mm.
that could pay dividends in that if they're used to playing with each other, they're more comfortable. They get used to the formation and the tactics required. They could actually be a stronger team as a whole when facing opponents. The
I
second
agree.
point, if you agree
But
with
hold on,
that,
I'm going to add a caveat to that. But continue.
all right, sir. Well, the second point of to consider is, and this is where I would have actually disagreed with you, Mr. Primo. I'm not sure if
Mm,
Wade would disagree also. If you believe that Mr. Hall is looking for a core group of players, a lot of them local based, and then for the bigger games ahead, whether it be Nations Cup or the World Cup remaining games, we call on quote unquote the bigger star players or the better quality players. I think that's a recipe to potentially for disaster, and it's something that we've visited before. How can we get better preparation and cohesiveness if we're drafting in, flying in SOS style, some quality players or some other players to join the group when they've not had time to work
All right.
together, and you expect to get success?
All
Remember,
right.
Jamaica have lost games only by the occasional goal. They had a
All right.
3-2 against against one of the teams. I think Panama 3-2.
Yeah, hear what now.
Exciting games. So we've got to be careful which direction Jamaica are
Hear what
going
now.
in. It's a
Hear why
real
I agree
challenge.
with you. I hear why it, but hear what you have to, is when you say something like that, you have to apply it across the board.
Go ahead, sir.
You understand? Because yes, we have a team that we have right now that is not gelled. Them not have no cohesiveness, right? And then you're going to shift out the team where just like them never reach 25% in terms of cohesiveness, right? And then you bring in these new players. So that means you're going to start a process over. And then when you reach a big game now, you're going to bring in back the man them whenever they gel already.
Quite possibly.
Yeah. So that is why I say it don't work like that. You have to do these things little by little by little. You probably say, all right, let me work on the defensive third of the field first. And you pinpoint the positions that you want to fix, right? I understand that we're out of the competition, or we're technically we're out, right?
We are
But
out.
we'll still have to safeguard the results, because the results still matter in the long run of the program.
Quite
That's
so.
all I say. You understand? So
Quite
just
so.
phase out the changes. I understand. I don't know if it's a case of where someone say, "Oh, the match them don't mean nothing no more, so I'm now forward," but I doubt that. I think all they have to do, nothing wrong with bringing in the new younger local players, but just do it phase the team. You understand? You can't the wholesale change thing. It don't work. And no matter what players we get or however we change things, if we do not plan for tournaments or competitions like this, we're going to continue to get it. If we do not prepare, not even plan, because a plan is just the idea. You actually have to do the preparation.
And
You
implement.
understand? Yeah. So we have to prepare. But how we do the preparation matters as well.
Wade,
You know,
what say
yeah,
you?
I think making changes in increments went out the window when we decided to change the coach. That's what I think. I think
Um,
we've once we've decided to get rid of Tapper, we've
no,
decided
not
to
necessarily.
change to make wholesale changes
Why you feel that?
because
Why you feel that way?
the manager, the man in charge of the philosophy, the man in
Mm.
charge of the team dynamics is no longer there. It's a different person with different ideas. So we have to expect wholesale changes, and also we've firing the
Not
manager,
necessarily, because look at
but
this way. Look
but
at it
fire
this way. We've seen this happen where international coaches get replaced, and they're not wholesale changes, especially in a tournament like this or in a qualification process like this. Them wait till till the cycle over, and them start the new cycle and bring in the new players.
right.
This is not like new players come in during a cycle, but to the amount of changes what we say are going on. So although they did say them are going to do this, to be fair, because we've been following this, they did say they were going to do this, but the amount of change, it is worrying. You know what I mean? It is worrying, and it is the amount of change for a match that we should be looking at with our regular team and saying, yeah, this should be 3 points at home.
And who made the
Because,
decision? Who made the
eh?
decision? Who
Eh?
made the decision? Is this the
Yeah.
JFF's idea, or is this Paul Hall's idea, the sweeping
As a head
changes,
coach,
the
Paul Hall will have to
omissions?
take the thing there for
Oh
him.
man, this is definitely Paul Hall's idea. I think seeing the character he is, I think he's
Yeah.
definitely an authoritarian. I think he in that maybe authoritarian is the wrong word, but he definitely seems to like to be in total control, a
A
micromanager probably,
disciplinarian is probably the better word.
or a
Yeah.
micromanager. Somebody
Yeah.
who definitely wants all facets of the team to be under his control.
Yeah.
So maybe I definitely think these are his changes, but
Mm.
um even though the changes are large, I'm sure that is what the JFF warranted was needed, a wholesale change. Now let me
Yeah,
put
man.
this to you now, right? Wouldn't you say, based on the current form of the other CONCACAF teams and the strength potential of Jamaica's national team, this was probably our worst World Cup qualification run in decades? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow.
There,
And let me read something to you and to
so
prove that point.
therefore, so well, I don't even need to hear that just to make my final point, and then you can read that.
Mm.
If that
Mm.
is the case, then wholesale changes would have had to been made.
Mm. All right. To thing there. So it says um the dream of a second ever trip to the finals will have to wait for Jamaica, who are officially eliminated from World Cup contention, who were officially eliminated from World Cup contention in February. A 62nd minute strike from Joel Campbell gave Costa Rica a 1-0 win. Jamaica seemed to be on a return path to contending for a place in the upcoming tournament after going unbeaten in their final three qualifying fixtures in 2021. Um, the run, unfortunately, was not enough for Theodore Whitmore to maintain his position as a manager, but his replacement, Paul Hall, has yet to win a match since taking over the job on an interim basis. Although not winning a match, this is just my opinion. I think his style of play and what he's trying to do, we can see it. You know what I mean? To be fair to him. Anyway, 3 second half debacles or debacles or however you want to pronounce it versus Mexico, Panama, and Los Ticos killed any momentum that this team had accumulated headed into the new year, as they were in a position to claim points from all three of those encounters, scoring an opening goal versus L3 and Los Canaleras. Given how well this team have fared in CONCACAF Gold Cup campaigns, along with the caliber of players. Now, this is a point, along with the caliber of players flourishing in the Premier League and Major League Soccer, it has to be a massive disappointment for the program to know that they will not be a part of yet another World Cup. To add to your point, Wade,
Yep.
you understand me? So when it looks like I'm being harsh, it's not that I'm being harsh, but just I look on the big picture and the full reality of the thing.
No,
It's a failure.
I
Epic
understand your
failure.
point. I understand your point. No, it's definitely an epic failure. Definitely an epic
Yeah, man.
failure. But I think I can agree with the need or the notion of a wholesale change. I think
Yeah,
something had to change on a big scale. Not just the manager, but definitely key components that were within the team.
yeah,
And Mr. Hall thinks that these players that he selected are the ones. And
yeah.
in
Not
the past we
there.
saw
There will
where,
be capable players there. No, let's get that. Let's get that straight. You know what I
right,
mean? But the only problem I have with it, yes, changes have to be made, but it's just how we execute the things, and I think that is one of the biggest problems we have. The timing, like we have the worst timing, or the federation has the worst timing. We knew the head coach had to go. When they fired him, was the worst timing.
definitely.
You understand?
Oh yeah, I agree
He should have
100%.
been out before the competition started.
Or he just waited out.
Right after the failure in the Gold Cup, the program should have shifted and the
To
changes
World
should
Cup.
have been
Yeah,
made from this up.
right. Using the
Um,
Gold Cup as a interview almost for the World Cup campaign. You
yeah,
fail there, that mean you can't. You're not the one to carry us forward.
yeah,
Isn't it
and
ironic though? Oh, go ahead. I was going to say, isn't it ironic though that Tapa accrued some points, and there weren't a lot more points scored by the time Paul Hall came in. I think the thing that I'm really concerned about, and I see it as a challenge. Jamaica has arguably its finest crop of players that it's ever
I don't think
had,
it's even
and
arguably
what?
It
in
All
is.
terms
right.
of caliber and status and leagues where them are playing.
Okay. I maybe being a
You
little
understand?
humble there, but
Yeah,
you've
but
said it's the
in terms
worst
of performance,
campaign.
yeah, in terms of
Definitely.
performance as a team, it's far from our best team in terms of how them play. But on paper, is the highest profile set of players we've ever had.
And we're also looking at the factors that other teams around us not doing well. Mexico not
Yeah,
playing like Mexico, USA not playing like
yeah,
USA. We the factors, the stars had aligned for us to qualify.
yeah,
And we didn't take the chance. We didn't take this opportunity.
yeah.
Let me call a spade, or just ask you directly, Mr. Primo and Wade, and viewers of subscribers out there. What do you think the best way for Jamaica to proceed in these last three games, and then going forward into the tournaments such as the Nations Cup, where we've already acknowledged that the
I'm
points
ready to
and
answer that.
the FIFA ranking is absolutely vital. Should we go for a combination of the quote unquote local players or young players, but mixed and merged with the crop of talent that we have across the Jamaican diaspora, fully aware and in the knowledge that it could be a costly endeavor, and we may not have the financial acumen and actually financial resources to bring these players together regularly. And we've already seen breaking news with the Tyreek McGee and Kyle Walker Peters revelations
Tariq
now
Mitchell,
being Tyreek Mitchell, my apologies,
yeah,
being
from
called up
Crystal
for
Palace and Walker Peters from
absolutely.
Southampton,
And these were two
all up
players
into
that
the
were being yes into the England
and
setup, and
and to
we
be
were
honest with you, who would think
yes sir.
that those players would be anywhere near the England setup?
Uh oh.
Let's be
Well,
honest.
I was
They're
going
good
to
players,
ask. They're very good players,
come through the youth setup, but when you look at the depth
That
that
England
England
has,
have in those
especially in those
positions,
positions. Yeah.
but then the
is
question,
that really for them to be worked into the England squad, or is it to keep them away from
I
a
exactly.
certain
Just
federation,
exactly. Cap them so they can't be capped elsewhere.
that is um that has the possibility to call those players, but hasn't
but
approached them yet.
Wade, you're smiling, and I'm gonna put it to you though. How much do you want to smile and feel to smile when you consider that these players, who must surely know that they're being courted by dual nations, but the fact that they accept and get that cap, the fact that they've not been pursued successfully by Jamaica, the Football Federation, does that suggest to you either laxness, or get me now, could it be the case that Paul Hall and the JFF believe in the talent and ability of the local base players, merged and mixed with a spattering of overseas talent to come together, and they feel that that's the best method and model to achieve success? That may be cutting corners, and or maybe cutting the cloth according to what's available. Do you think that's really a winning formula, Wade? Really and truly?
First of all, I don't think you've been watching a lot of my comments on Mr. Primo Vision, because to say the JFF, if I think the JFF could be lax, is an understatement. And then and then to give them such credence to think they could be thinking on such a tactical level, and have such brilliant foresight in developing youth, to I don't give them that much credit at
My,
all.
my, my.
I think if such a grand idea is coming from anybody, it's coming from Paul Hall. And you better believe it. Just like how they hung Tapper out to dry. As much as we complained about Tapa's inability to succeed, we must identify that he was let down by the JFF. He did not get
Yeah.
the support, right? So I don't want to give them any credit, any credit in this going forward, or like they
Mm.
even have a clue what is needed for Jamaican football. But to stop straying too much from your point, I really think this is Paul Hall's decision. I think yes, he's looking at, like I said earlier, he's looking to build a strong local base setup that he knows by itself, without an international player, we can take on the minnows of the CONCACAF, beat them comfortably, because we should be able to. We have the pedigree to do that,
Yeah.
I'm not
right?
sure. I think you're
All right.
speaking a little confident. I'm just not sure about
Here what
that
happened now, though.
particular
In, in, ter- in,
equation. I'll be
in terms of
fascinating to see.
in terms of the pedigree, why is that? Look at when our footballers go overseas, they do stand out. They do stand out, right?
All
It's,
right.
what you say, no, Primo?
I do want to touch on something else still having to do with El Salvador. Because while we are here bashing the JFF, El Salvador Federation are much better, you know. You know what I mean? So
So what's carrying them? Is it their talent? Is their coach?
they're not doing that great. I think like I said, they're like they're a minnow in the group. I think don't even think we should have drew with them in that match. It was at their place and what they came back to draw with us, right?
So you're saying their shimmer of hope is just based on their scheduling? Then they just haven't played the teams to not to squash their hopes
No,
as
but they're
yet.
not that they're well outside of Panama. I think the article is being kind. Panama is well ahead of them in that fourth spot. You know what I
Right.
Yeah,
mean?
no,
But
Panama are a
technically, they
better
have a
team.
chance. But it was like us before we played Costa Rica when we technically had a chance, but we were already dead in the water.
Right.
Um, however, they had an issue coming out of the American game between the players and their federation, where the players threatened to strike over a falling out. The players spoke to the media about the fact that they had to buy their own winter weather clothes or winter weather gear to play the US match. And the federation wasn't so happy about that. And it ended up in a big squabble where the players are threatened for strike. So there is some similarities with how the players and the federation get along there. You know what I mean?
Right.
So them are running a bit of a party shop as well. So as much as across JFF.
Or empanada shop.
So the two party shop is a party shop clashing us. Tastes
Party
versus
shop
JFF.
clash.
You know.
Listen, I say beware. I say beware. I'm going on record here to say
No,
that
man, I'm not overly
these three
confident.
games these three games
No,
they're not
hold
a
on,
gimme,
no.
and this game is not a gimme. This is not a gimme.
Hold
I'll be
on.
listening and watching.
I think a lot of stuff get lost in the translation with you when you hear me say certain things, you know. Me not say we must win or we are gonna win, you know.
¿Qué pasa?
But for the coach, from a coach perspective, I am looking at it as from an analyst perspective. Not from a fan where I say, yo, may I cheer for Jamaica. I'm saying this is a must win for Jamaica. For the sake of the program. Them no must win. But it's a game that they have to win. You
They
understand?
need to win.
And they need to win. I'm not saying I'm predicting a win. But I'm saying they have to do their job. You understand what I said to you?
I'm listening
It's not
carefully.
a,
I don't
because we
know if
can
you're
go out there
hedging.
Thursday and they get battered badly, and that is our reality.
Who get battered badly? Could
Jamaica.
Right,
and
what would you say? And what would you say in that situation then? Given that you're saying that they must win or they need to win,
but
what would be the state of play if that was the situation? What would you say then?
It comes back to what I've been saying to you the whole time. This is not where you should be experimenting and making the wholesale changes, because these results matter. It comes back to the Nation League. You can't do that in the Nation League. You can bring in the youth them in the Nation League and try to make those kind of changes in the Nation League. I can understand if you bring in, because there will be talent there. We now fight out that Richard King is a talent. Him find him and him bring him in. You understand?
So
But
you're
that's how we
saying
have to do it.
basically
We
it's
have to
more it's
phase
the
it.
same bad timing that they've had. They're continuing with it. That's what you're
Exactly.
saying.
That is what I
Yeah,
said to you like 5 minutes ago. The
yeah.
way they implement changes, it's not that the changes mustn't be made, but the way they do go about
And
them
when?
and when they go about them are not correct.
Yeah. Okay, I
Is
definitely
is
agree with you there.
even if you take it to like the corporate world, when you're making changes in your company with, it have to be strategic,
Definitely.
because a change might be beneficial in the long run, but if you do it in the wrong way, it could have dire short-term consequences. It
Right,
could take
right.
you a while to recover from that.
Yeah,
All
and
right,
there might.
let me. Oh, go ahead, Weird. Go ahead,
No,
go ahead.
I was just gonna finish off by saying there might be a glaring change that needs to be made, but can't be made right now, based on the
Mhm,
timing. You know.
mhm.
So I agree with you there, definitely. So you can go ahead now, Richard.
All right, so well, check out. We are
Mm,
where we are. Paul
yeah.
Hall, who it seems you seem to be suggesting that Paul Hall has been the ringleader. He's been the decision maker, the decisive element in the selection and composition of this squad for this World Cup window. I expressed some surprise at the
That's who
omissions and
suggested
some
that, Wade?
inclusion. Uh, in terms of the composition of the team, yes, Wade suggested that
Yeah, I did that.
he's
Yeah.
a strong, yes, he's a strong
Yeah,
strong-minded coach. He wants to do
yeah.
things his
Because
way
I
and have overall
personally,
control of the scene. What do
I
you
put
think? Do you
up
differ?
my hand and say I don't know who behind or what influenced it. So let me just put my opinion out there. So
All right,
I
because
don't know if,
I'm yeah.
excuse me, because I'm not as familiar with some of the names. I'm not going to say, oh, this man or who picked that. If it was a situation where I was familiar with a lot of the players, or I saw it leaning heavily to one club or one set of people, then we could have draw a certain conclusion. But I don't think, one thing I would say, where I agree with Paul, what with Wade with it, I don't think Paul Hall are gonna bring in nobody when him look upon and him narrate. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So in terms
Paul
of
look like
who
he look
gather
like
the
him do
players
rap.
for Paul to look at, that is another thing. We're not sure. But I don't think Paul would have take from a bunch of players like him. I don't think nobody can tell Paul Hall say, "Oh, pick that man, pick that man, pick that man."
All
Not
right,
to say it's
that
impossible, but
So
as a
you're
man
saying
with,
so you're saying they suggested a group to him and say out of this bunch, and
I
then
say I
he.
don't know. I do not know
Oh,
who
okay, okay.
if it's
I
a
thought that.
if it's that thing where they select a group of players for him to look at, or it's a thing where him I watch and I say, oh, he might watch Premier on Sports Max or whatever, and he must say, I want to work with this player or that player. But if it's a thing where where him have him local people are go to games and Ray and they suggest a set of players, it
I
can also
believe
work like that. You know
I
what I
believe
mean?
a set of players was suggested. I think
Yeah.
they did the research about who's played how many minutes in the JPL, for example, and then they sent out invitations for
Mhm.
overseas players to join the camps, and that invitation is still there that they can join the camps, and then Paul Hall and the team can run their eye over those players and see who makes the cut. My question to you at the moment, because I'm really keen and open minded at this stage, because some of the players I'm not familiar with, likes of Jimenez and Busy Atkinson, I've heard about Pearson, I've heard good things about, so a very talented player. But my
Mm,
question now, we are where we are, and with this squad at Paul Hall's disposal,
mm.
what do you expect? It's a hypothetical question because we've not seen them as a team play. The
Yeah,
eventual first 11 team, we don't know what it's going to look like. Plus
yeah.
the subs, we don't know. What do you expect with this squad? Looking at the squad, because we've had it dropped all at the same time, and we're mulling it over. What do you
Mm.
expect against El Salvador, given the range of changes and all we've discussed? We've talked about need win, must win, should win, have to win. What do you expect from this crop of players in this game forthcoming against El Salvador?
Um, To be honest with you, let me do something here. So, ooh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 players that weren't in the squad prior to this coming into a 23-man squad.
Mm-hmm. That's
We
big.
can't know what to expect.
That's a big
But
change.
I'm
We
sure we
can't know
can.
what to expect.
We
To be
can. But
honest,
looking at a team, we should expect certain people to definitely be starting. Blake, Lowe, Mariappa. We know those people are gonna start.
yeah.
Leon, Andre must. No. So then it's just the midfield and the supporting defender
So I guess him gonna
defenders.
start Ravel and
Ravel,
Speedy.
Ravel is there.
It's probably going to be Ravel, yeah. Ravel, Speedy, and probably have Lamar Walker play in front of them.
Wait, which list are you looking at? Because I didn't. My list didn't even have Leon.
Yeah, man. This list came out um March 21st.
And my list don't have
22.
I'm not seeing Rafael in my list at all.
Yeah, man, Ravel up on the list, yeah. And this look like the official JFF list.
Okay.
You know how that for them graphics always look. Yeah, man.
Nurse school.
Yeah.
So
So
looking at that list then, Mr. Primo, how many do you envisage how many new players in the first 11 could you possibly envisage dropping into the team in addition to those quote unquote definite
the one,
likely starters?
well, they're going to
Because
have to
maybe
find somebody for play on the flanks. I don't honestly I don't envision more than probably one or two new names starting.
the dog them agree with you. Are they
I
raising
are
objections?
no, they're disagreeing. They're
They're
disagreeing.
just
Mm.
Wade. I mean, what do you think? I mean, you sounded like you were saying that there's several players that are
Yeah,
guaranteed
I
or
think
likely to start.
I wouldn't surprise if we see up to 6 new players start.
Wow. What you
Yeah.
see the difference? Six up to six new players
Who those
starting.
players? Who would those players be?
I have
Go
no
ahead.
idea. I have no idea. But I don't know. I really don't know where Paul is thinking, but he's definitely thinking something new. That's
When
why I said
all
that.
right, when I look at this, I can see his starting 11. I only see space for probably one or two new players.
Then let's hear your
'Cause-
starting 11.
So you have Andre Blake, Damian Lowe, Richard King, Andre
Mariappa.
Mariappa, Javane Brown. So it could be, and you have Greg Lee. So you have Javane Brown and Greg Lee are playing the wing backs. So you have Richard King, Damian Lowe, and Andre Mariappa for choose from the centre halves. That's a if him not play three at the back, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have the captain I go start in a goal.
Yeah.
You know, the
Pick
midfield,
himself.
you have Ravel and Ting there.
Alex.
Speedy.
No.
You have
I
Ravel, Speedy, right? You have Nicholas Nelson. You have what do you name? Atafaroy, Bygrave, and Daniel Green. Them man they're gonna go start. So the only open spot is probably who are gonna play the opposite flank to Leon. Now you know Andre Gray more than likely gonna start up front.
forward, yeah.
Yeah. So like I said, it's probably one and two spot where they for a new player filling.
Who's leading the attack? You're saying Liam Bailey, Lamar Walker's on maybe the
Andre Gray.
attacking.
Yeah.
Andre Gray, Leon
I
Bailey.
think Lamar Walker might play where Bobby Reed usually plays.
You know, I'm quietly optimistic. I'm reflecting. I'm gonna go with
Yeah,
quietly
change your mind.
optimistic. What? No, I'm not gonna fully change my mind. You know, and you know why? Because this team has not played together. One. Secondly, it depends which way this can go. Because
Yeah.
Jamaica no longer can qualify. I believe our fans going to be welcome. I hear that fans
Yeah,
are now
man. All
welcome in the
restrictions
stadium.
lifted.
Yeah, all
No,
restrictions have been
Wow.
lifted.
Well,
but
I mean,
I think it's what grandstand only.
I didn't get the details.
I think it's only the grandstand. I'm not sure, but
So that's going to be thousands, though. Would that be thousands
yeah, man, they should
potentially
have.
if they get the tickets sold?
Yeah, but a little too late, ain't it?
Well, all right.
Good for the fans, but terrible for the actual program. Bad for JFF and the Reggae Boys. To be fair, you know what I mean. We bash them, but we have to be fair to them that it's a little bit too late,
It's going to be a challenge.
and
It's
that's
going
not
to
their fault.
because Jamaica are no longer able to qualify. This game could either free up this team under Pool Hall. I was encouraged. The first game they played against Peru in that friendly, though they
Mm.
eventually lost that game 3-0. We saw that
Yeah,
pattern wide and formation wise,
yeah,
playing from the back into midfield, there was a palpable change. I'm hoping that this team will have drummed into them the philosophy of Paul Hall slowly and surely. So I'm optimistic, quietly optimistic, that we can see a committed, interesting,
yeah,
a good watch of a performance and not a turgid long ball
yeah,
affair. But sometimes you can't knock things out of people's heads in terms of how to play and their approach. And of course,
yeah,
you know, we've coming off the back of losses and of course the disappointment of no longer having that carrot of World Cup qualification. The other factor is, of course, El Salvador. I don't know if you guys are underestimating El Salvador in any way, shape, or form, but I am not. And it's because of that, El Salvador have everything to gain and plenty to lose. So this game is going to be very much a live one. And
what that
for
mean?
that reason, I'm going to
Pressure.
be watching. Oh, you mean
Yeah,
pressure bus pipe, you
pressure
know?
can help you or hurt you, you know.
And I
It can
think, yeah,
bust pipe.
I think it can help us. I think with
Yeah,
the fact that
pressure
we don't
can
have
help you or hurt you.
with the fact that we don't really have much to play for, we might be able to play a little more, relaxed and
Yeah,
let things
and
flow a
one
little
thing
more.
to especially when you have youth to play, they're more carefree and more willing to take risks because they're not so apprehensive. So that
And
could be a
Paul Hall
benefit.
seems to be more transitionally adept
Yeah,
as a coach over Tapa, where I think Tapa was more formation shape based, more, about the shape of the team versus, the ball play within transitions and areas of
yeah.
the field. I think Paul Hall has a better understanding of that, moving the ball.
The thing with Tapa, I'm gonna be honest with you, Tapa set up the team not to lose.
Right, right.
Yeah, he doesn't set up his team tactically to um
To attack. It's just not to,
exploit the
not,
opposition.
but it does not to
Is that
concede.
he goes in to protect his weaknesses. So
Right.
in it, a lot of the teams that he uses, you find that he'll have good players in the team that are great for them clubs and all of that, but don't really do that well for Jamaica because
Except
his
except for the
tactics are,
defenders.
are yeah his tactics are a bit rigid. So
Yeah.
it doesn't do well with creative players and
Right, because it's
uh,
it's more about the
skilled
shape
players.
of the team
Yeah,
than, like I said, the actual ball play in transition.
yeah,
So
And that's what I'm looking forward to. As I said, I'm looking forward to an entertaining game from Jamaica, a positive game where they can
yeah,
showcase their skills, their ability, their resilience, their fortitude, and lots more. But this is a very much a live game, and one of the best points that has come from this particular discussion and cannot be underestimated in any way, shape, or form is the FIFA rankings. And part of the
yeah,
rebuilding process, we've got to be aware that wins have to be very important in terms of Jamaica progressing and going up the table. I think we were ranked around 62, 63. It's
yeah,
not easy to climb the rankings, so we need to take on opponents that are close to us and above us. It's not an easy road, gents. It's not an easy road, and we need all hands on deck. And I just really hope that the cream of Jamaican talent, wherever they may be, come together. And that includes the best minds, because sometimes you don't have to be the most skillful baller or playing in the best league. If you've got the ability the acumen, the mental ability, the ability to think fast, to learn, and to listen to what Paul Hall is trying to preach. He's very good at in terms of the developmental department. He's had a great deal of success at QPR, and hopefully with the senior ranks mixing with the younger ranks, we'll see success slowly but surely. I agree with Wade. Give it time. Time is the enemy of managers. Oftentimes in these current modern days, you're not given too much time to succeed. But I hope Paul Hall is given enough time to gain the trust of the players and vice versa. So, gents, I'm hoping for a Jamaican victory. We've only had one in this campaign, and with the returning fans, I really hope we'll experience a second victory, but it won't be an easy road. What say you, gents?
Wade, go ahead.
Well,
Because after that, I'm going to wrap up.
I think the fact that it's gonna be hosted at the office and everybody is I think with the new coach, new team, the lack of pressure of having to qualify, the fact that the fans get to go outside again. I think we're happy to go outside again. I'm very optimistic for this one, and I think it's gonna be a good result.
3 points for the Reggae Boys, Wade. Is that what
Yeah,
you're saying?
definitely,
3 points for
definitely.
the
I
Reggae Boys.
I feel
You
so. I
have a
don't know
good
why I feel.
feeling in your
Yeah,
bones.
I think the new manager bounce. We're gonna get a new manager bounce. We're gonna get a new team bounce. We're gonna get a new. We're outside again bounce with the fans. I mean, if you're in Jamaica right now, any social event that is keeping is swinging. It could be a funeral. It's jumping. The people are so happy to be outside right now. So I think the fans coming in is going to re-inject a big energy into the crowd. I think Paul Hall's ideas with the new team is going to re-energize us, and I think the fact that we don't have anything to play for will also re-energize us. You know.
So we're going to wrap it up and leave it there, so gentlemen. Thank you for joining me. Guys, remember, like, subscribe, share the videos, tell your friends, tell a friend. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
All right. Bless up.